We're a month away from E3, so we're going to start our pre-E3 coverage. I'm OnlineZhD, and I have the rest of the Gaming Underscore members with me. We got Blue,
Hey.
Josh,
Hey.
Justin,
Hello.
Officer K, aka Dan,
Hey.
and RVGT Ryan.
What's up?
So today we figured we'd talk about 3 or so games that we want to see more of, so we all compiled a list, but there is one exception to this list. Since there's a lot of games on Sony's side that we figured we'd all pick, we figured we'd exclude those from everybody's list. So things like Death Stranding, Last of Us Part 2, and Ghost of Tsushima do not count for this list. But besides all that, everything's fair game, so first pick, Blue, start us off.
Oh, I'm going first. Fuck.
You going for a fuck?
I'm going for fuck. Fucking. Where's my list? One sec. Shit.
Oh my god.
No. I was on Twitter. I'm sorry.
This is no time for Twitter.
Okay. Right. Bayonetta 3. Okay. So I'm a big Bayonetta boy. I like myself some Bayonetta. I like those games. Bayonetta 3 got announced at Game Awards last year. We basically know fuck all about it, other than the quick cinematic trailer that lasted for about a minute. What was interesting is I went back and rewatched the trailer, and there's a weird theme of like splitting things. Like at the start of the trailer, there's like a ribbon that fucking floats in, and it splits in half. And then the enemy who's in the screen jumps at Bayonetta and he splits in half. And then the bullets that she fires all split into pieces. And then at the end, when the 3 comes up in the middle of the fucking moon, it splits the moon in half. So like there's a clear theme of like splitting. So I don't know what that means. But that looks interesting. Obviously, Bayonetta is a fantastic action series, and I love those games a lot. The first one's my favorite, so I hope it's a lot more similar to that. Hopefully, it will be because the creative director Hideki Kamiya, who led the development of the first one, he's back leading the development of this one. So hopefully, that means that the gameplay in terms of combo depth is going to be similar to the first one. Because the issue with the second one is that it was more visually appealing for novice players and mechanically inferior. So like the combo depth was nowhere near as deep. Boss fights were reduced to just basically just waiting for witch time and then taking advantage of that. I hope the stakes are high so that we can like end the trilogy and Kamiya can move on to something else because I'd love to see that. But yeah, I just want to see what the gameplay is like because Bayonetta is all about gameplay mechanics. It's not really about story. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And that'll be Nintendo's conference, probably. I don't know when it's going to get fucking released. Probably like next year, I assume.
Yeah, it's same next year.
Yeah, unless the Nintendo Norway said it's coming this year, but I mean that's not controlled by Nintendo, so it's probably like just an assumption. I would assume it'll come next year, considering how apparently it's early on in development. Holy shit, my voice is going. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Bayonetta.
All right, Josh, your first pick. Let us have it.
I'd probably say Concrete Genie is one of the games that I'm looking forward to. It seems to, I mean, so far we haven't seen anything from the combat or like anything that's part of the main game. But they've said that there's kind of more to it than, because the side we've seen currently is just the kind of, I'm guessing, like part of the story and some of the like the kind of, I suppose, the creative side of like painting and bringing things to life to kind of like complete puzzles. I just think, I mean, like, I'm not a huge person that's like into puzzles in all the time in games, but if they can kind of blend like kind of action in with some of the puzzles that you can kind of paint on the walls and like you can bring those to life to kind of open doors or whatever. I think obviously that's mundane, opening doors, but like if they can do things that are kind of cool with the kind of the what you call like graffiti kind of art, I think that'd be cool, and it could hopefully be a good kind of adventure game.
All right, sounds good. Justin, what is your first pick?
Okay, so the first game I put down was Days Gone. I mean, this is kind of like a generic, well, I don't know if it's generic pick, but like, so Days Gone by Sony Bend, I put this one down because I'm still kind of 50-50 on the game. I know we've already seen it like twice at E3. It's pretty crazy. This is going to be like the third year in a row we're going to see Days Gone at Sony's E3 conference. But I think what's going to be different this time around is that this time they're going to show like kind of more the story side of the game. I don't think they're going to show another gameplay demo because we've already seen 2 of those. I think this time around they're going to focus more on the story aspect of the game. When they first announced the game, they showed that the first teaser trailer that gave us like a little bit of insight, but not too much. And I think that this time they're just gonna come back with kind of like a story trailer, kind of like what we saw with Uncharted: The Lost Legacy last year, just to show everyone that this game isn't just about just shooting zombies and like surviving in the open world. And yeah, I guess the story aspect is the part of the game where I'm still kind of iffy about. Like, I'm sure that the game could be fun when it actually comes out. It'll be fun to play, but I just want to be kind of, I guess, sold more on the story. So yeah, the first game I put down was Days Gone.
Nice. Dan, what is your pick?
Okay, so my first pick is Metro Exodus, and this
Oh, I
was
thought
one
that's
that
it.
this was one that I actually kind of lost track on in terms of like what I was excited for until about a few months ago when I brought the Metro Redux when I played the first two games again on PS4. I haven't beaten them on PS4, but I did on my PS3 and believe, and I think on my cousin's PC. But I really enjoyed those games. Even though they're not amazing by any means, they're very underrated to me. I really enjoy them, and I think they're games that not enough people talked about. And I just really am excited for Exodus because I mean the gameplay demo, or kind of like, I don't know how you'd call it. I'd say it's more of like a trailer. I'd say that we saw at E3 at Microsoft's conference was very interesting. There are a few bits I'm a bit iffy on, mainly how like scripted the demo felt, and I just hope that we'll get to see more gameplay. Hopefully that doesn't feel as scripted, because I mean I loved what they showed last year. It just, I don't know, it felt very contained to me. So I just want to see a bit more of the game itself, a bit more of the sandbox elements that apparently it's going to have, and a bit more of the survival elements as well, because I'm really interested by it. I love the first two, so I'll definitely be picking it up. I just hope that it just does well, and hopefully just makes the games more recognizable, like, or at least gets open to a wider audience.
Sounds good. All right, Ryan.
Without a doubt, Cyberpunk 2077.
Crap.
It seems like every week we're getting pretty much more confirmation that it's going to be at E3. I 100% think it will. They've said when they're ready to show it, they're going to show it. We got the beat. So it's definitely going to be there, probably at Microsoft's press conference. I think CD Projekt Red is probably one of the best developers working today, which is maybe I shouldn't be saying that just because I've really only played The Witcher 3, but in terms of open world, I definitely think The Witcher 3 is one of the generation's best. I was telling Josh this earlier, but I feel like open world is like, the term is used as more of a marketing tool nowadays rather than really like taking advantage in the world that can really immerse people. And I think that CD Projekt Red is one of the best developers in that sort of genre. And I mean, Blade Runner 2049 came out, what was it, fall of last year. And after seeing that, it just got me even more pumped to be in a sort of cyberpunk world. So yeah, 100%. I just hope it's not first person, which if it is, I mean, like whatever, but I would prefer first person. There's been a lot of rumors that it's going to be first person. Wouldn't really want that if I'm like customizing my character, because we're not playing as a set person. You're building up a character. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what they're going to show.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one took this yet, so I figured I'd take this while I still can. My first pick is Shadows Die Twice. We've only seen like a 10-second little snippet of it at the Game Awards. Big From Software fan. I've been playing Dark Souls 3. It beat Bloodborne and all its DLC. Going through probably Dark Souls Remastered when that comes out later this month. Don't know what I'm really going to say about Shadows Die Twice, since we really haven't seen much of it, but it's mainly based on the promise of what From Software delivers, which is like really good level quality and like level design and coming back to different locations, and just, their games are always like a big launch, and just to me they're like some of my favorite games on the PS4 that are like the most memorable of going on like a grand journey and just experiencing all this stuff. A lot of the cool stuff that people have managed to find with the Shadows Die Twice, even though it was only like 10 seconds, is really cool about the Japanese writings and like the little different like weapons that you see in the background of the trailer. Just different really cool stuff. I'm sure we're going to see it at Microsoft's or Sony's. Not really sure which one, but it has to be this E3, and looking forward to seeing what they reveal of it, because it's very vague. So this is definitely something out of all these games that we definitely need to see more of. So yeah, it's my first pick. So I guess we'll start off with the second wave. Blue, do you want to start off again?
Me?
Yeah.
My second game's Metroid Prime 4. We spoke about this in the Nintendo episode. I think it's going to be at E3, at Nintendo's conference. It's kind of like a given. because we haven't seen it in so long. Right. So where do I start with this? Okay, so Metro Prime Trilogy is my favorite probably of all time. It's so fucking good. Those first three games are fantastic. Well, the first two are. The third one's not that good, but it's exciting to be getting another Metroid Prime game again, especially when the creative director of the first three games is working on it with an entirely new team. It's not known yet what the development team is, if it's Bandai Namco Singapore or Bandai Namco Japan yet. That was the rumor from Eurogamer. Yeah, we obviously don't know much about it, so I can't really say on what I think the game's gonna be. I mean, it's kind of what I'm expecting is a safe Metroid game because people just don't want a shit Metroid game. I think that's the idea, is that everyone just wants a Prime game and they want it to be good because Metroid's been shit for so long. And obviously the Prime series, the last Prime game was 2007, so it's been like 11 years since the last one. So there's a lot of expectation. So I think they're gonna play. They're not really gonna experiment much with in terms of level design. What I expect to see is just what I said in that Nintendo episode, which is just a gameplay trailer with story snippets, like just a typical 2 to 3 minutes trailer, showcasing some of the level design, showcasing some of the story moments. I'm not sure if it's going to be a continuation of 3 because 3 was pretty climactic. Is that the right word? Conclusive, maybe. It ends it, but it also sets up the possibility of a fourth game with a particular character and his whole backstory and stuff. So I'll be interested to see where they go with the story. Although Metroid's always been about its exploration and its gameplay, so that's mostly what I'm looking forward to seeing. It's not the best thing to convey in a trailer, which is why I'm excited to see the trailer, because it's just going to be gameplay probably with just a little bit of story in there. But yeah, I'm excited to see that just because I want to see what a modern Metroid Prime game looks like, because that's just an exciting prospect because those games are fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exciting.
All right, looks good. So Josh, what is your second pick?
I think it hasn't been announced as such, but it's kind of been, they've kind
I
of
think
spoken.
I know what one you're talking about.
Hitman Season 2.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not Destiny. I think, again, like, I don't know whether it will be a Season 2. I don't know if they're continuing that. Obviously, they split away from Square Enix a few months ago, and they've kind of taken a hold a bit more of the game, obviously, because of that. And they haven't confirmed any kind of, like, specifics of what they're doing, but they've said that they are working on something. I think they're releasing the definitive edition sometime next week or sometime soon. And they've released about 20 editions of the game already, but they have said that there's kind of more to come and that they are working on more. And what form that'll take, whether it'll be an entire new game or whether they're going to continue the kind of episodic take on it. I kind of, there's a part of me that wants the full game, then there's a part of me that likes the way they did the episodic thing, but I don't think they executed it in the best way possible. I think there was some story a while ago that was talking about how, I don't know if this is true, but the first kind of Hitman was meant to be kind of like 2 locations, like split across like 3 episodes or something, and it ended up becoming like 1 location per. So when you first got the game, I'm pretty sure it was just like the first kind of like boat location, then Paris released later, and it's like, well, that was a really kind of poor place to start. So I'm hoping if they do it, they kind of make each kind of chunk that you have of it like actually worth buying, and like not just kind of split apart across kind of like so many different episodes. But as I said, no specifics on what they've said, but I'm pretty sure they are working on some form of a Season 2, if we call it that. So yeah.
All right, Justin.
Okay, so my original number 2 was Metro Exodus, but Dan said that, so I'll move on to my next one. The next one I put down was just Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Now, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Shadow of the Tomb Raider fan. I'm like I guess a decent fan. I played both the first Tomb Raider, and also I recently beat Rise of the Tomb Raider only like a few months ago, and I played that on my PC. So that was a lot of fun. I just think that the best part of Tomb Raider is its gameplay. It's just, I guess it's a lot of fun to play, and we know that Shadow of the Tomb Raider is well, this time it's being made by Eidos Montreal instead of Crystal Dynamics, and hopefully the aspect that they can improve is the story this time around, because I mean, let's be honest, the first 2 Tomb Raider games, their stories are just like absolute crap. And like the only person you really, I guess, somewhat care about is Laura. So I just hope that they can have a better story this time around with characters that you actually care about. Gameplay, I'm pretty sure gameplay is honestly going to stay pretty much the same. I don't expect it to change too much between the first two games. So, in that aspect, I guess I'm not really too worried. I just think that, we saw it like they announced it with that short teaser CGI trailer, and then like they waited like 2 months to only reveal the extended version of that CGI trailer, and I'm just like, why did they do that? Why couldn't they have just showed at least like if they're not going to show gameplay, at least show like an in-game trailer or something like that. But I guess we're just gonna wait until E3 for them to like I guess reveal it with a trailer and gameplay or something like that. I'm expecting they'll show it at the Microsoft conference on like the Xbox One X, because I'm pretty sure they're still like they have good ties with Microsoft, so that should be cool. The Microsoft conference probably won't have that many big first party games, so once again they're gonna be showing off their like big AAA games, or not AAA, sorry, third party games. I mean, so yeah, that should be cool at the Microsoft conference.
And the cool one about that is it's coming out this September, so we don't have to wait that long.
Yeah, it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think they're going to do any kind of special DLC or some kind of exclusive thing for Xbox? Do you think that would be something that they would?
Did they do it for Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Well, they did do it for Rise, but they had the year exclusive.
The year
Oh, yeah,
exclusivity.
yeah.
So,
I guess I could see it happening. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I guess I don't know.
All right, Dan, what is your second pick?
I was going to go with Cyberpunk 2077, but because my good Blade Runner 2049 fanboy Ryan took that pick, I'm going to have to go on to my other choice. So that is going to be Anthem. Now, this isn't a game that I'm like necessarily like really excited for. I'm more intrigued as to actually see more of it, because obviously since we last saw it at E3, like a lot has happened in terms of the development. I believe from what I read somewhere, I think like one of the lead people in developing the game, didn't they like pass away from cancer or something? So
Yep.
I know that impacted development, and just overall behind the scenes from like what we've seen from news and stuff like that. I am slightly concerned, but at the same time, I think I'm just more interested to see how much like it's going to have changed by the time we see it again, because I thought when they showed it off, it did look very good, but I kind of got the Ubisoft vibe where it's like they show something really impressive, but at this point we're just like, yeah, the final product's not going to look like that. It's not probably going to play like that. So I'm interested to see how they do it. I mean, the aspect that they have where it's like like open world, and it's online, you can play with your friends at any time, and just the concept wise sounds very cool. I just want to see more of it, and just hopefully that it's executed really well, because it does look very interesting. It's kind of like I don't know if this is like the right way to say it, but it looks more like a Destiny kind of game that appeals to me, and that it's online, very seemingly like based around you playing with your friends. But I think it's just more of the setting and the vibe that the game and its world shows that makes me more interested for it. It's not necessarily a game I'm like mega excited for, but I'm more intrigued to see what it has to offer.
All right, Ryan.
So my next one is kind of interesting because I'm excited for it, but at the same time, the more I'm like less excited. But that would be the Avengers game that got announced in January of last year. Now we really only, in terms of confirmation, we really only have the teaser trailer that got announced, but there has been a lot of job listings. And from the looks of it, it seems as though it is going to be more of a service-based online game, which is something that I would prefer not to have, just because, we have these iconic characters in the Marvel universe. I would prefer just to have a relatively linear game to sort of bounce between characters. It seems as though it's going to be a third-person cover-based game. I mean, there's been job listings for that. I'm hoping that they deliver on a somewhat decent story, just because, like I said, they have these great characters that they can work with, and I'm hoping that the combat is really diversified between all of these different characters, because obviously the superheroes in the MCU play or have different attributes to each other. I think we might see it this year at Microsoft. I don't think that this game is obviously going to come out this year. 2019 maybe a little early too. Definitely by 2020 we'll definitely get this game. But with the Avengers type right now with Infinity Wars, I think it's a definite possibility that this game could come out. I'm just hoping that it's not super service based and online focused.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to
Have
that
you
one as
seen
well.
that, by the way? Just sorry, side note. Did you watch it yet? I know we were
No,
talking about.
no.
You haven't seen it? I know only
I'm
Brandon
watching
has.
it Thursday. I'm doing my I'm trying to watch. I have like 6 more Marvel movies to watch, and
Oh, okay. I'm watching it tomorrow, so.
it's pretty painful right now. But
Did you hear any spoilers? Because I already had those.
oh yeah,
This
yeah.
is
No,
on
did
topic,
you?
guys.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
girl.
sorry, I don't-
No.
On
Actually,
topic. On topic.
a girl. Wait, all right. A girl in my 8 a.m. Monday class thought it would be funny to just like spoil pretty much 2 main spoilers for Infinity Wars.
Mm.
And, okay, yeah.
That sucks.
I do have quite a few spoilers, but
I see. My last, or not my last pick, but my second pick I decided to put in here was Pokemon. And I pretty much said this because Pokemon is a game that's only been handheld thus far, and with the Switch, obviously it's going to be kind of like its first, first for the series to be on actual home console as well, since the Switch is a hybrid. Just everything about Pokemon kind of intrigues me since I never played it as a kid, and just knowing that this game has a lot of, expectations from fans is exciting because the series has kind of done the same things, and while it doesn't really affect me at all, I've watched friends play and everything. It just seems like a game that's down my alley, and just I enjoy my Switch a lot, and I love turn-based games like Mario Rabbids or like RPG, the way that you guys can kind of just pick it up and play. And I just feel like Pokemon would be kind of like that perfect game for the Switch in a way, because obviously it's a handheld. And yeah, man, just being able to play that in HD is going to be awesome. I'm expecting it to be either in a May Direct or at E3, because Pokemon's typically not been at E3, but it's typically had its own thing in Direct because Game Freak makes it. So yeah, whether we see it in a month or so, I definitely expect this game to either come out very end of this year or early 2019, because they expect to sell 20 million Switches by their next, the end of their fiscal year. So I gotta think that Pokemon's part of that plan. So really looking forward to seeing what they come out with Pokemon. Not much to really say. My picks are kind of like games that we've only seen or heard about, or I've only seen like 10 seconds of. So yeah, Pokemon's my second pick. So I guess I'll wrap it around. We'll probably do kind of like a rapid fire. I mean, we're kind of going late with the freaking time. So if you guys want to go over it quickly, or like more quickly, so yeah, Blue, just let us know what it is.
My third one was Pokemon. I haven't got much to say on it. Other than I'm a massive Pokemon fan. Pokemon needs to be innovated on because the formula's starting to get really stale now, and you could start to see that with Alpha and Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, and then that was further continued with Sun and Moon, and you could it's become so fucking stagnant, the same formula over and over again. The rumors were suggesting that it's being changed. They've changed the battle system and the way the gyms work, so that's interesting. We're probably going to see it in a direct, not at E3, because it's Game Freak don't usually show Pokemon at E3, or they don't reveal it at E3. Sometimes they show it. So yeah, I haven't got much to say on that other than I'm interested in it. My last one's Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh yeah.
I'm a massive fan of Ori and Metroidvanias in general. It's probably one of my favorite genres. Ori and the Blind Forest was fantastic, and the trailer that we saw at Microsoft's conference last year for Willie and the Wisps. I'm gonna call it that.
That's such a tongue twister.
Jesus Christ, Ori Willie. I'm gonna call it that. It was really emotional, and we haven't seen gameplay yet, and that's really where Ori strives in terms of its level design and its gameplay. Its moment-to-moment gameplay is fantastic because the game didn't really focus on combat. It focused like Hollow Knight's focuses on combat. It's more focused on platforming and level design, and its aesthetics absolutely fucking gorgeous. And the sequel seems like it's carrying on that same visual charm and emotion. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Ori turns out like. It's supposed to be coming this year, so. Hopefully it comes out.
Oh,
soon.
really? I thought that was a 2019 game. That's exciting. All right, Josh, final pick.
Final one was probably Division 2. And yeah,
Jeez.
I know.
Right.
The first game wasn't exactly flawless, neither like at launch, and it still isn't.
It was shit.
Great. Well, yeah, like, you mean if you look at the first gameplay demo, like there is a very, very big difference between what the game looked like and what it actually was. But it's more of like, now, I'm not gonna like be like, oh, the game was bad at launch, but it got better. To say that that's like an excuse, but if they're able to make things better based on what the game is currently in Division 2, and they can hopefully improve on the story, probably won't, but we'll see. I people know I like loot shooters, and I think as the game got better, the game kind of felt that there was more to do, and the kind of it kind of started going further to become more of its RPG that they probably should have been, and it kind of with the things they added post-launch, like activities and whatever. Like I said, still not great, and I think there's still a lot of things like the shooting and the movement was all kind of, it just felt clunky, and I think that's one of the things that stands out to me most as something I wasn't like. That was like the worst part of the game to me. But I think the things that they had RPG mechanics wise, I think was good. So if they can improve on that and the gameplay that is cool, or even if the story's not great, as much as I'd like that to be good, then I think it'd be interesting to see how that turns out. So I wouldn't say I'm like really excited, but I'm interested to see what they do with that.
All right, Justin, final pick.
Okay, so my the last pick I had left was also Avengers, so I got taken as well. So I just I decided to come to put Dreams, only because I'm not a big fan of Medium Molecule. I've only played Little Big Planet 1, and it wasn't even like a game that I owned. I played it at a friend's house. So Dreams is a game that like I guess has kind of been on my radar. It's not like a game I've like looked forward to a lot, only because the game got announced so long ago, and it's been like when was that game announced? Like 5 years ago, probably 4. I don't know.
5.
It's been a
it
long
was at
time.
the PlayStation 4 initial announcement.
It's been a long time. I guess my excitement for the game has kind of just like either stayed the same or gone down a bit. But I don't know. I just feel like we need to finally like see that game one more time, just to impress everybody. And finally announce a release date. Like we need to know when that game is coming out, because they said last year at PSX that the game is coming out in 2018. We haven't really heard anything since. So I think we just need like final confirmation at E3. Show the game one more time in front of everybody, with something that stands out, that's different from what we've seen so far, and and a final release date for I don't know, probably summer this year.
And probably a beta, you imagine. I don't think the game will release this summer.
Yeah,
I
I don't
imagine
know.
it's
They're
holiday.
doing a beta too, and then it's like I don't know.
I reckon it'll come after Spider-Man, like November, December.
Oh, so you think at the it's either probably either I guess December could happen.
It'll probably be like
Like
the
at the
Last
very
Guardian
end
for
of
2016. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's my
Dan.
pick.
You guys completely fucked up my list now, because I had 2 of my games taken from me. Fucking Cyberpunk 2077 and Dreams. I hate you.
Sorry.
Since when did you guys like Dreams? I'm just wondering.
Why did I put Dreams? Oh, just because. I honestly don't know. I'm clutching at straws here. I'm the one who plays the games over here. What do you expect from me?
All right. What's your new third
All right,
pick?
I have got one. I've got one, but it's not one that I've
Don't
like
tell me
looked
it's FIFA
extensively
19.
into. No,
FIFA
it's
18.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Because the thing is, here's the thing. I've never played the first one. I've never played it, but from what they showed of E3 last year of it, and seeing I can't remember who they were, the 2 like lead people behind the game. When they came up on stage, they were really passionate about it. That really got me into the game. That being said, I haven't really seen a lot since from it. Like I've not like tried to look into it too much. I don't know if I'm correct in saying this, but didn't they show some stuff like just recently for it? I'm trying to remember.
I think they had like a live stream, but I didn't watch that. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't watch the stream because I was busy. But I do want to see more of it at E3 if it's going to be there, because it is something I'm interested in, just because from what they showed at E3 looked really cool and just very, very different and out there, and it seems like the kind of game that will draw me in just because of the world that it's got. It looks very interesting, but I can't really say I'm like mega hyped for it. Along with my other pick of Anthem, it's one I'm more interested to see how it plays out.
All right. Ryan?
Yeah, pretty much like everyone else. My whole list, either I said it or got taken. I guess Spider-Man, but honestly, after Game Informer, the whole month of coverage, I feel pretty like fulfilled.
I feel like we don't even need to see it.
Yeah, we don't need to see anything really.
We know enough about it, don't we? Like,
They're gonna show more though, but like I don't know.
hope they don't show too much. I don't want to like. Yeah.
Honestly, I just want like something with like a side mission just to get more of a feel of like what.
I feel like they're gonna show another.
Or like an open world thing.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I feel like they'd show off a story mission if anything. No.
Really?
I mean,
I mean, the way I was
wasn't
thinking
that one a
is that
story
like
Yeah, but
Horizon Zero Dawn, I think
who goes to E3 and shows a side
Oh,
mission?
true.
2016. That
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I don't think that was like a main mission. I think it
No,
was
it
just
wasn't.
she's
It
exploring
was
the
just
world.
taken down
It
something. Yeah.
was
It was like just in the world.
yeah, a random event. So I could see something like that happening with Spider-Man, especially because they in the Game Informer coverage they've been talking about how like lively the world is. I think that would be interesting. What we heard from Game Informer in terms of the side missions, too excited because it seems like there's quite a bit like sort of like collectathons and like defuse bombs, sort of like really basic side missions. I was hoping more so for something sort of like the Arkham series where each side mission would be based off of a certain villain in the Spider-Man universe. But yeah, I guess if I had to pick, it would be Spider-Man.
I see. So you guys took my other picks. I was gonna put like Shadow of the Tomb Raider because obviously I like Tomb Raider. So I ended up going with my final pick as pretty much the new Super Smash Bros. Game. We already know it's 100% gonna be at Nintendo's E3 conferences here. Just really excited to see what a Smash game will look like on the Switch, and just pretty much mainly for me, it's like the roster and just how this one, I don't think it's gonna really be different, but just a main one for me is like the courses because we got Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, and seeing those locations and like a stage for Super Smash Bros. Will be pretty exciting. I know at the Nintendo video that me and Blue did, he even threw around like Dante possibly being in Super Smash Bros. I'm just looking forward to seeing what Nintendo has to show, and just ultimately it has me really excited when I'm looking at E3 this year about games I really want to see. So yeah, just definitely with like the whole roster and the stages and just overall what they're going to be adding in this one, just has me pretty excited. So yeah, I guess anything else you guys want to say? Any last minute things before we wrap it up?
Wait, do you think Crash will be in Smash?
Crash would be pretty cool for Smash. Not gonna lie, that'd be pretty cool. It's all up to Sony and Activision. I guess it's up to Activision, yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I
PlayStation
feel like
also
we'd
has
get
that,
something
right?
from like Capcom or something like that though. Or like Shovel Knight would be pretty sick, but usually they only have like one or two of like those third party characters in, so yeah, I guess. Yeah, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching for our video. Make sure to leave your kind of like games you want to see more of in the comments down below. I reckon a lot of it's going to be like Last of Us, Death Stranding, but a lot of cool stuff all around, you know, a lot of cool stuff that Microsoft can show that they showed off last year, a lot of cool stuff from Sony as well, and just Ubisoft as well. So looking like a strong E3, and with that, that's our first pre-E3 coverage video done. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to look out for more videos to come in the future because they will be coming. They will be coming for this month of May. And yeah, with that being said, I've been online. You guys want to wrap it up? Say your outros, all that good shiz.
Thanks for watching.
See you.
See ya.
All right, see you guys.
CD.